again. I'm Mike Jauregui, coach with Michael J. Owen Music Education Fund, and today I'm here to talk to you about the maintenance of your instrument and how to make a sound. So we're going to get started with that. So the first thing that you're going to need is a cloth. You're going to need one for your case in the future for all the time that you're going to be playing. The reason for this is for capturing a lot of the water that comes out of your instrument so it doesn't ruin your carpet or anybody's house, like wood floors or whatever. This, just a normal house towel, is a good thing to have to catch your condensation from your instrument, as well as for what we're going to do right now, cleaning your slide. Grab your slide. So you have your slide, and what you're going to do is you're going to notice that there's a slide lock, and the slide lock allows it to stay open or closed. So if you open it up, it allows the slide to keep going. It has a little groove that the lock clips onto so it doesn't move. So if I go like that, it's not going to move. If I have it open, it'll move. What we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take the slide and we're going to take it completely off, but be very careful. You don't want to bonk it, because the slide, if it gets dented, that's it. Got to get it repaired. So you got to be very careful about the slide. So you take the slide completely off and set it down nicely on a cushion or on a chair or nicely on the ground, flat. Now what you're going to take is what we call the inner sleeve of the instrument. You're going to take your cloth and you're just going to wipe it clean. And then you're going to do the same thing on the bottom sleeve. I like to do it a couple times. You're going to take the outer sleeve and you're going to put it back on and you're going to rub it around. Keep in mind that when you put the right way to put it up is to have that groove from the slide lock on top, so that if it locks again, you have it right on. Another indicator is if you have your water key is going to be at the end of your slide on the bottom. So that's another indicator to keep it right. So now you're going to take the slide, get all the inner guck onto the inner sleeve, and then you're going to wipe it down again. I like to do this about 3 times. Once more, take it off, and then wipe it down the final time. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take either, in your case, there should be either slide oil or cream. For today, we're going to use the cream. My favorite cream, especially for older instruments, is Trombone. That has been used by trombone players for years. This is a great cream to have for your instrument. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the top. And now I have the cap off, and you can see it looks like a tube of toothpaste. You can see. And what we want to do is we want to have exactly that much on the top of it. We just squeeze out just a tiny bit. And what we're going to do is we're going to take it and we're going to wipe it on one of the sleeves. Okay? So you can see that that's what it looks like. Okay? Not too much. We don't want to put too much. Just enough. Okay? And what we want to do is we want to do that again. We squeeze just a tiny bit of amount and we put that on the bottom part of the slide. Okay? So now that we have that, we rub it on what we call the stocking. Now you notice here that there are these 2 lines. Okay? You see these little grooves, but right here you can see, and if you take your finger and feel right over the top of this, you can feel there's a little bump right there. That's where we have the outer stocking. This part is actually thicker than the rest of the slide. And because of that, this is what causes the most friction within your slide. So what we want to do is we want to make sure that the outer stocking is nice and lubricated so that it can cause the least amount of friction inside the slide. So now I've rubbed it all over. Now you can take the rest of it and you can put it in your towel, wipe off your fingers. I like to just kind of glide around and get the rest and just kind of use it along the rest of the slide, because, you can never have too much lubrication. We want our slide to be able to slide around really nice and easily. Once you have your slide lubricated with your cream, you take the outer sleeve and you put it over the top, okay? And then what you do is you just rub it through, and you'll notice instantly that it'll start feeling really nice and slick, okay? Now, after you do this, I like to do a little cool thing where I can take the top of it and I just twist it around and I just get it all thing. Now, be very careful when you do this, that you don't do this while your bell is on, so you can bonk your bell or anything like that. You want to make sure you do it with these steps. It causes the least. Now, hold on tight as you do this, because you don't want to throw the slide out and hit somebody in the face. And you do the same thing on the bottom slide. some trombones actually have this bottom pipe are wider than the top sleeve, and we call those dual bore slides. And if you have a dual bore slide that you've inherited from your grandfather or your mom that played trombone, you probably won't be able to do this part, but you can test it out. And what I do is I actually put the slide upside down and be able to get the groove as well. But in this case, it's a dual bore slide, so it doesn't allow it to happen. We can go ahead and just put the slide right back on. And now we're ready to put the rest of it together. As review, you have your slide, put it on the ground, on the rubber stamp. Grab your bell, plug it into your slide. Tighten. And finally, your mouthpiece. Put that in. Okay, so now you've put it together, let's review on how to hold it. You have your thumb that goes through this big window. Hold it down, rest it on your hand. Take your 3 fingers, the middle finger, ring finger, and pinky. Thumb, put those 3 in the little window to say hi. And then take your first finger and put it over the top. And that's how you hold it. Okay, so now let's talk about how to make a sound. So, like we discussed in video 1, the trombone was known to be very similar to the human voice. So, what we do is we emulate that same idea. Instead of having our vocal cords be the place of making notes happen, we use our lips and we have it buzz. You may not be able to do that right away, so I'll tell you a little trick. Has anybody ever told you something just completely ridiculous and you're just like, ah, can you do that with me? Ah, so when you do that, that makes that noise. The same thing that we do in our instrument. So when you go to do this, ah, we can put it in the horn and it makes a big sound. All comes down to being able to buzz. Just like an electric guitar that plugs into an amplifier to make sound, this is like our electric guitar, and this is our amplifier. We take this and we buzz that note, and then we put it into the instrument, and it makes it happen. I do it again. Guitar. Into the amplifier. So now this is used as a big speaker for what's vibrating in your lips. So remember, if you can buzz it, you can play it. That's the idea of the brass instrument family. On the next video, I'm going to show you how to play your first notes, and we'll start getting toward playing songs. All right, I'll see you next time.